Hey, Fit Pros, it's me, Kelly. I am here. I'm so sorry for the delay. I hope you guys are all still going to jump in and join me. I have so much to cover with you guys today. And let me just tell you, technology has not been my friend this week. Yesterday, my trusty old MacBook died. Hey, Regina. So I had to go to Best Buy and I had to buy a new computer from the parking lot, which is how they are doing it now. So went all the way to Best Buy. They would not let me in. I bought a new computer from the parking lot, picked it out on my phone, and the guy brought it out and we did everything in the parking lot. And now I have a new iMac and my trusty old laptop that I've had since 2014 is kind of limping along. I used it for my 8 a.m. yoga this morning, but it didn't go well. I went back and watched, and the sound was kind of going grr, 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 and I think that was because it's running so slow it couldn't keep up with the microphone. Oh my goodness. So, you guys, I'm so excited to talk to you about this subject today. I cannot even tell you. So, let's get to it. I am coming to you from the war room here, as you see. So, this is where I work from. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you. This is where I work. So, I am about to give you a real peek behind the kimono because not only am I going to show you this whole area here where I work and do the Fit Pro show, but also we decided to paint the whole house during quarantine. And so all of like my decorations and stuff that are usually in the living room are now in my dining room. So I'm just going to show you anyway. So this is where my office is, right? It's like a front of the house, like formal sitting room that you might have used to have when you were a kid. And then you go across there and you see that's where you usually see me coming from, over there in the dining room. So that's just a little sneak peek there. This is a painting I did in college. That was the last painting that I did. I haven't painted in a long, long time. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, you need to paint. And I do need to paint. So someday I'm going to again. All right. So let's talk about it, y'all. We are here to talk about business setup. And the reason I wanted to do this topic, and I wanted to do it by myself, is because last week I kind of put a post out there and I said, hey, I want to talk about business setup. I'd seen someone jump in and say, hey, nobody's talking about taxes and different things like that. It was Tad that jumped in and said that. And I said, I know you are 100% correct. Nobody has talked about that stuff, and it is important stuff. What I love about what we have done as fitness businesses is we've kind of gotten in there and just like solved a problem, which is what a really good business owner does. We go in, we get strappy, we solve a problem. So us as fitness instructors and personal trainers, we got online, we said, hey, people need these classes because they need them for their mental health. We're all stuck at home. We've got to get something going here. So we started doing fitness classes from home. And then the next thing, logically, of course, is we need to get paid for our time. We should get paid for our time. Hashtag fitness works, Lawrence. Love you. And so then it became, okay, what's the methodology for getting paid? And we're kind of reverse engineering. And what we're realizing, some of us, is that, hey, we're really good at the virtual classes and we may want to keep doing them. So now let's look at how do we get this thing set up correctly so that we really are a business, or so that we at least have that opportunity to make it into a business if we want to. So that is the way a scrappy business owner does business, and that is good stuff. I am so proud of our community for the way that we have responded to this crisis, for the way you guys have jumped in and just made it happen. It is amazing, and you guys have done really good, positive work for people. I'm going to start crying, but there are people in this world who have really, really needed you during this time, and you have been there for them in a way that you weren't always comfortable with. It's not comfortable to get online and teach a class to yourself on your porch or at the end of your bed or in your garage. It's super weird the first couple times you do it, but we got in there and we did it, and we're making it happen. And now some of us are going, hey, I want to keep doing this. Why not? Why not make this part of my regular routine? At least some part. You know, it's a part that you can control. It's a part that could be additional income. There's a lot to it. You guys, fitness works. I love it. I love it. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story, and why I want to come in here and talk to you guys about setting up a business, and why I thought it was important for me to come in alone. So I have been doing websites since 1999. I graduated with a degree in studio art, as you saw from the painting. And I went into the computer lab at the College of Charleston. At that time, we didn't have any computer-aided design classes or anything like that. And I kept on going into the computer lab and trying to make like an online portfolio for myself. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm sitting in this computer lab for like 9 hours, and it doesn't even bother me that I've been in here for 9 hours. I love doing this. I'm trying to make this online portfolio, and I love it. So sent out a cold mailing to all of the places in Charleston, South Carolina that were doing websites at that time. And there were two. And they both agreed to take me on, and I took a job with one, and I think I made like $9 an hour. So that was where my career started. Self-taught. As the websites started getting bigger, the jobs started getting bigger. I was leading teams. Got to the point, let's see, I led some really big websites from 2000 to 2014, some household names. Won't go into all that. My last job, it was kind of high profile. There were a lot of eyes on me. It was nerve-wracking, and I decided I was going to stop teaching. I had kids that were youngish. They needed me. I had a husband that was deploying. Stopped teaching. I'm working. This job is super stressful, high profile. It wasn't a good situation. It was really rough. I didn't plan to go into it this far. I'm sorry, y'all. So started having suicidal thoughts. I was in a really bad place, and I took 3 weeks off of work, and maybe it was a little better. Got back to work. It was exactly the same. So I said, okay, something's got to give. So went into my boss and I said, I don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow, but it's not going to be this. And so I knew that if I went home and I made a dime, that it would be better than being at work and feeling the way I was feeling. And so I started my company from there. So that was 2014. This is why I tell you that story, because I started this business without, oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you for saying that, Sangeeta. So I started this business without a dime. We did not refinance the house. We did not have savings in place for me to start this business. It was literally like eat what you kill. Like I was coming in and I was paying at least my piece of what I needed to pay of these household expenses. I do have an awesome, supporting, wonderful husband who has a very stable job. So I'm really, really lucky for that. But there was still a piece that I needed to make up, and there was no savings there. So we were eating what we were going to kill. And that is called bootstrapping your business. When you bootstrap your business, you just build it from the ground up. There is no savings in place. There is no backup plan. There's no like, I'm gonna borrow $100,000 and have 10 employees in place, and then we're gonna build something, and then we're gonna release it. It was, I am going to sell something tomorrow, and then I'm going to take a piece of that, and I'm going to be able to buy groceries with that piece, and then I'm going to take another piece and put it off to the side for taxes, and then that's going to grow from there. So that is bootstrapping. And when I think about what you guys are looking to do with the virtual classes and possibly taking them into the future, you are looking at bootstrapping a business. So who better to talk to you about bootstrapping a business than me, who is a fitness instructor, who loves you guys endlessly, and who has bootstrapped a business in the last 6 years. So when I saw this conversation start to happen on the Facebook group, I started to see like roadblocks being thrown. And you're going to see that if you start to say, hey, I'm going to teach virtual classes and I want it to be like part of my income, or I want it to be my whole income, then you're going to have like 850 people coming at you saying, you can't do that because you have to get accounting software, and you have to know graphic design so you can market yourself, and you have to be able to manage your social media, and like a friggin' million reasons. And I'm telling you this because literally my own mother said to me, I said, Mom, I'm going to tell you what my plans are right now, and I don't want your feedback. I just want you to listen. And she said to me, you are living in a dream world. And so that is what you will hear from the people who love you the absolute most, because I know my mother loves me. But she said, you're living in a dream world. So 5 roadblocks. We're going to talk about them. We are going to debunk them, and then I'm going to give you information for going forward. Now remember, this whole week we're going to do just business setup stuff. So today we're talking about these major roadblocks, and then later in the week I've got Shannon Simmons coming on with me, and she's going to talk specifically about little actionable things you can do every day to get your business set up. Okay, so number 1, marketing. So people get really in their head about marketing, and they start to think that they can't do this because they don't have a marketing team or a marketing degree, and so they can't do marketing. And so I want you to think about if you were to close your eyes, and you think about the way this business looks in 5 years. So what is your ideal dream? Are you on the Today Show every week? Are you teaching virtual classes to 100 people and making enough money to put groceries on the table? Are you somewhere in between those two things? So think about that in 5 years. Okay, so you got that in your mind, right? So later on, you can take that and write it down. For now, blow that away, okay? We don't need that. You know what you need? You need one person paying you. And then in a few weeks, you need another person paying you. Here's the way that we get really in our head about who our audience is going to be and who we're marketing to. We start to think, well, I need this really big audience in order to make a living. And so then we start thinking, well, how do I make a product that is just, appealing to everybody so that I can get the biggest audience possible? And that is the exact wrong way to look at this. So I want you to think instead about your favorite student at the gym, about your favorite class to teach, and your favorite student at the gym. And I want you to teach to just that person. So when you think about creating this company and starting to market, think about that one person. That's what you need. You need one customer. And then you need that one customer again and again and again. That same person. And let me tell you, that one customer probably looks and acts and purchases and works out and sleeps at night in a very similar way to you. So that is how you build your audience. My hope is that that feels way less intimidating to you than thinking about trying to be on the Today Show or trying to be everything that 100 people need or everything that 500 people need. One person, again and again and again and again. That's who you're selling to. Make sense? All right, so deep breath. We have let go of that big obstacle. Oh my gosh, I got to have all these people. I've got to have them right away, right? So the other thing that we get really in our head about marketing is branding, naming, logo, all of that stuff. So I have really specific experience in this because for the last 6 years, I have been working with small businesses. I no longer do those huge websites like the big household name that I was telling you about. It's a fishing company. It's the same as an old author that wrote Macbeth. So I'm pulling a Lawrence Biscontini here. I'm saying it rhymes with. So it was Shakespeare and Abu Garcia. And do you fish? I don't know. Do you guys fish? Anyways, so branding. Let's talk about it. When I started my company, I knew that I had a couple big strengths. So I knew that I had led these big website teams, right? And I had done these really complicated web projects where we took all this data and integrated it into a website in ways that made sense to a customer. And then I knew that I had like 20 years of experience wearing a head mic. So I knew that I could talk in front of some people, as you've seen him jabbering on and on. So I didn't take a lot of time thinking, okay, how do I take this and how do I meld it with this and how do I make like a really super cute name, and is there a word that's never been used before, and can I make a domain name that is like Kelly and a head mic, or website and a head mic, or no, y'all, no, just freaking call it what it is. If you're gonna teach Zumba classes, then call it Kelly's Zumba Online. Or if you are going to teach to seniors, then it's, virtual senior classes. Like, call it what it is, because first of all, that's really a lot better for your search engine optimization when you go to buy a domain name. And second of all, like, nobody needs that fancy name. So, you'll see me jump in on discussions a lot in the group. People will be talking about how do I name a class? Like, I've got a half-hour abs class. I'm going to do this and this, and what kind of cute names can I come up with? And people will say like, oh, butts and guts and blah, blah, blah. And butts and guts is good because it says what it does, right? But a lot of the names that we come up with maybe don't say anything about what the class is. And I'm just a big believer. Like, you call it what it is, and that is helpful to people because then they know what it is. So branding is not complicated. Developing your audience is not complicated. Getting a logo is not complicated. There is this thing called Fiverr, and you go and you pay $5 and you get a logo, and you may get 2 or 3 logos, and you may order 5 logos and then decide which one you like best. Do not order 100 logos and then try to decide between. I can't stand that idea. It becomes designed by committee and it's a hot mess. So don't do that. All right, so branding, easy. Social media. We are going to skip social media for now. Social media is not complicated. You guys all know how to do social media because you are here. But it is something that you're going to want to maybe get a little training or help with. And so there are a lot of coaches out there. I can recommend some. I can coach you. We're going to talk a little bit later about the possibility of working with me on some of this stuff. All right. Website, same thing. And so let me just mention this. I am trying to put together a course for you guys where I will teach you all of these things. And so Shannon and I have been talking all week about ways to make a course that in 6 sessions tells you about setting up your business, and then about getting your website, setting up your social media, all that stuff. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Oh, I was nervous to tell you. I didn't know what to think. So marketing, you guys, you got this. It is not a roadblock. I think that I've shown you some ways that it's simpler than you think and that you don't have to be scared of it. So there's that. Software. So you go to your mom and you say, hey, Mom, I am going to teach virtual classes and it's going to be 50% of my income from now on. And your mom says, you have to buy QuickBooks and it costs a ton of money, and you're going to have to get Adobe Illustrator, and you're going to have to get a website created, and you're going to have to get membership management, right? Okay, so there is this thing out there. You guys may have heard of it, I'm sure. It's called software as a service, y'all. So it's when you buy the software and it is online and you don't even have to get a copy of it to install to your computer. You go onto the website and you use it, and then it gives you everything you need. So it makes things so easy, and you pay by the month, or you can pay by the year. Your accounting software, you can do QuickBooks online. I do Zoho online, which is kind of like, have any of you guys gone to the store to get toilet paper during the quarantine, and you got this toilet paper that is like a clear thing of toilet paper? Okay, you have to comment if you've seen this. So it's like a clear thing of toilet paper, and then across the front is like a black label, and it says toilet tissue. It's just like generic toilet paper, like generic like we had in the 70s. So that's what Zoho kind of is. I mean, it's really good. It's good software, but it's not fancy. Okay, so you can get that you can do all kinds of things with Zoho. You can do your project management, you can do accounting, all kinds of stuff. So your software is not an issue, you guys. It is easy. It's easy, you're gonna get it. It's fine. The legalities. So this is the number 3. So we're going through 5 things, right? This is number 3. The third is the legalities. So you go to your dad and you say, hey, I'm gonna do this. And he says, you can't do that. You don't have a business license. You aren't set up to pay taxes yet. You do not need to be set up to pay taxes before you start your company. It's gonna be okay. I promise. You guys, the biggest number that I've seen anybody throw out there that has said, hey, I'm making money from teaching classes online, the biggest number I've seen is 500. You don't even have to worry about it till you've made 600. And even then, if you get an EIN, which is your employee identification number, it's like your social security number for your business. If you get that, oh, Teresa, thank you for saying that. She says number 3 is her biggest scare. Number 3 is this legalities piece. All right, so if I am not a lawyer and I am not telling you what to do, but right now we are in unprecedented times, right? So if you are making money now and you go and get your EIN number and get your legal set up like next week or next month, or even maybe 6 weeks from now or 6 weeks after the quarantine ends, I think anybody would be hard pressed to really like hold your feet to the fire about that, right? Right? I mean, let's be like human beings here, and let's look at how this whole thing has been handled. If you really think like somebody is going to be coming and knocking on your door and trying to audit you in February of next year, I don't know. I just don't agree. I don't agree. I think you're going to be okay. So what we do is we do our thing. We get scrappy. We put groceries on the table, and then we look at these legalities. So I know we need to incorporate. You're probably going to want to do an LLC. That protects you from, it protects your personal assets, and it separates your personal assets from your business assets. So that LLC combined with your accounting system is going to keep your finances separate from your personal finances, and then it's going to keep like your business assets and business, what word am I looking for here? Your business interests separate from your personal interests. And that's what you need to do. So that when everybody starts talking about all these legalities, what they're really talking about is separating your business from your personal, so that if someone were to come in and sue you or have some sort of problem with you, that they can't take your house and they can't take your car. They're going to take everything that the business owns. Worst case scenario, you guys, I've been teaching for 26 years. I've never had anybody come close to threatening to sue me for anything. 26 years. And back in the day, in the 90s, we did some bonehead stuff. And I taught for the Navy. And in the Navy, you could make them do anything you wanted because they can't sue the government. And I never hurt anybody. So it happens, yes. But you guys, you can't, my opinion again, you can't live your life for those negative, like, what ifs. You got to live your life. And then if the what if happens, you're going to deal with it because you are a problem solver and you are a fixer and you are a doer. And that's why you're listening to this talk. Okay, so legalities. It's not a big deal. Now, one of the things that we are going to go through a little bit with Shannon on Thursday, and that she is going to teach an entire day on when we do the course, is something called Profit First. So her and I are both big believers in Mike Michalowicz, the book Profit First. Everybody that I know that is going into business, I always tell them to read Profit First. If you've got ebooks on your computer, if you've got Audible, grab it now and go ahead and read it. It's just so good. It has what has kept me in business. It lays out for you. It's this book that lays out for you, okay, you do this many bank accounts and you put this percentage in this percentage in this percentage in this. And then your money is all in buckets and you're actually paying yourself if you're making money. So yay for paying yourself, which doesn't always happen otherwise. And you're putting some money aside for profit. And that way you get to take like a little profit distribution every quarter. So it's really, really good stuff. And Shannon is a master Profit First trainer. I forget the exact term for that, but she is going to teach an entire day on that piece, just how to set up your business finances and what goes where. All right. So then this last piece, well, no, there's two more pieces, sorry. Operations. So this is another one. People are going to come back at you when you say, hey, I'm, thinking about starting this business where I'm going to teach some virtual classes. Or maybe you're not even thinking that you're going to teach virtual classes. Maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe it's nutrition classes or nutrition coaching online, or maybe it's, groups. You're going to put together groups that are going to do like diets or challenges or whatever you're thinking. I'm going to do this online. And then people say, oh, you can't do that because you don't own member management software, and Mindbody costs $300 a month, and you don't have any way to deliver your sessions, and you don't know how to handle the customer service. You guys, these are not blockages. These are Has anybody watched Marie Forleo? These are figure outable. And with today's tools and business climate, these are easily figure outable. So with operations, with member management, so if you decide to do the course that I'm going to offer you on Thursday, that course will go through the specific member management that I'm recommending. But there are all kinds of member management systems out there, and we can even like kind of go through and, compare and contrast some from the other ones. But they are, again, software as a service. So you pay by the month, you upload a list of people, they send an email out and say, hey, you've been uploaded into this system, pay us. And then the member management usually will serve also as the paywall. And so you can get some money for doing what you've been doing for free, maybe. Session delivery, you guys have figured that out already. It's Zoom, it's Vimeo, it's YouTube Live. You guys know how to deliver your sessions. The big thing has been, how do I get paid for these sessions that I'm delivering? And then the customer service piece, that's either you or you in conjunction with an intern or somebody, a virtual assistant, somebody that is helping you just handle questions, get refunds processed or things like that if you were to need to do those sorts of things. But again, this is just easy stuff. You just have to put it in a list and a process and just get it done. And these are all things that we will cover on Thursday. I'm going to give you more information about this course I'm putting together for you, and we will go through all of that within these 6 sessions of this course. I'm calling it Virtual Studio Now. All right, so then number 5 is your mindset. So one of the biggest challenges, I would say probably the biggest challenge to being an entrepreneur is mindset. It's being able to stand up every day and say, yes, I can do this. And you guys, my husband is lurking in the crowd right now, and he could tell you that I was in a ball in that corner last night, crying my eyes out, because this stuff gets real, and it gets real fast, and it's hard. It can be really hard. So every day as an entrepreneur, which is what you are if you decide to go into business for yourself, every day you are showing up, you are putting your big girl pants on, you are getting your mind right, you're doing it. You're getting your mind right, and you're doing it. And so mindset can be the biggest hurdle. Having to go to mom and say, hey, I don't want your feedback because I know what you're going to say, but I am doing this, and so just want you to know. Fiona, thank you. I am nothing if not honest. So y'all, those are the 5 biggest roadblocks that are going to be thrown up. It's the marketing, it's the software, it's the legal aspects that we're all so scared of. By the way, I do have an insurance partner that I will put in the comments, and we'll talk about more on Thursday, that I'll recommend to you guys. It's John that was on a previous episode with insurefitness.com. And then number 4 was the operations piece, the member management and the customer service, and then mindset. Oh my gosh, there's so much that we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about my quick little tips for graphics. I did tell you a little bit about Fiverr, but I know that you guys have a ton of questions. So this session was meant to be an hour. I scheduled a 3 o'clock with a future guest for the show. So I'm not going to go over an hour, So in the meantime, you guys give me your questions in the comments and I'll try to answer as many as I can right now. And then we will jump off right at 3. And then we're going to do this again on Thursday with Shannon, who is smarter than me and will have more answers than me. So tell me what your questions are. I got some comments here. I got the big girl pants, big girl panties. I got both of mine on. And thank you for saying you love the way I am explaining it as it is. I get passionate. My face is red, you guys. But I get really passionate when people start to talk about business in a way that it's like all of these insurmountable obstacles. This morning when I did my yoga class, if you guys go and you watch that yoga class, I know some of you have been checking in on it, and it had some sound problems, so it's probably unwatchable. But at the end, we did a meditation on knocking obstacles down, and we just did that on purpose because I knew that I was having this talk with you guys today. Jamie, thank you for watching from Alabama. My son is home from the University of Alabama right now. All right, so best way to get paid, Venmo or PayPal. They're both going to charge you 3%. I have them both. I think PayPal is what you're going to use if you're going to hook that into a membership management or a website, because those can hook together. I haven't seen where Venmo can hook together. Venmo is more like if you are going to request money from like Jane Doe member, and you just send her your Venmo link and she just sends you the money. So it's a little bit different. PayPal, you can like integrate into a shopping cart, and then somebody can like actually buy that product and get that money comes back to you. So it's like transferred. The same with Stripe. So you guys are probably going to ask about Stripe and Square. Okay, so Tad was saying, what is the course going to cost? I am not exactly sure yet. It is going to be, I don't even want to say, let me tell you what you're going to get. I'm just going to go through this briefly. So we're going to talk about all of these 5 things. So there's going to be the operations piece, the legalities piece, and then I'm going to go through the software, what accounting software, what website software, the graphic software. I'm going to give you a tutorial on getting your website together. I've got some special templates that have already been put together for gym owners that integrate Zoom on the back end. And then, so I'll show you how to put together your website, and you'll end this course having your website put together, having your member management and system in place if you do your homework, and having your paywall in place, and then having your method of delivery of your classes. And so what I'm thinking is that it's going to cost $600, and I'm probably going to do a special after Thursday when Shannon and I get together and talk to you guys again, and then I'll probably do a sale on it that will last like Thursday night until Friday. The other piece about that I wanted to say is that as long as we get some people registered and we get Shannon's and mine's time, we're not trying to get rich off of this. You guys know I've never made any money off of this group. This is not what I do it for. As long as we get some people registered enough that we've got a good group, it's going to be fun, it's going to be interactive, we will take some scholarships. So at that point, I'll open it up and I'll say, okay, so-and-so contacted me and they really wanted to do it, but they've only got, $200 or whatever. We can now afford to let them in. So I will be doing some scholarships. All right. Oh, you guys are the best. I can't believe the comments you're giving me. Thank you. And thank you for registering with Fit Pros Connect today, Sangeeta. I really appreciate that. And that is a tool that is going to work, the more people we get in there. So keep registering, and you're going to start to see that your neighbors and other people are in there, and you're able to see each other. You're able to you can contact each other through that website. So when you see that somebody else is in your city or in your state, you can contact each other. There's just all kinds of benefits to that. I guess we can talk about Fit Pros Connect for a second. That tool, as you guys know, because I've been talking about it, I created that to be an industry tool. So it's meant to be instructor to instructor, personal trainer to personal trainer, service providers for our industry directly to us. That's really why I created that tool. This Facebook group is amazing because we're able to communicate with each other so easily, but it doesn't handle regional content well. That website will allow us to plot things out on a map and get more regional about things, which means that as time goes on, once events start opening back up, when somebody has a certification going on in Houston, Texas, I will be able to allow them the opportunity to email just all the instructors I've got in Houston, Texas, regardless of what certification they've had in the past, regardless of whether they're a personal trainer or instructor. We can go by format or we can go by region. And that is what is really cool about Fit Pros Connect. Okay, you guys, do you have any other questions for me right now? That was a lot. Oh my gosh, I think I need a nap. You guys, thank you for being here. I will see you on Thursday. I will have Shannon with me. We are going to answer more questions about business setup. She's going to be talking about what you can do in 15 minutes a day to get your business set up. So specifically, mostly in that legalities and operations kind of area, that area that I'm bad at because it's not touchy-feely and I'm touchy-feely. So she's going to go through that stuff and give us 15 minutes a day, what you can do for 5 days to get things set up. And I am so looking forward to it. So you guys give me your feedback, send me your questions. If you need to send me a DM, please do, or you can email me at kelly@kellycoulter.com. And I'm just looking forward to talking to you more on Thursday. So thanks, you guys.